You know Jay Leno for his legendary car collection, a sprawling empire of automotive marvels valued at over $150 million. But what if I told you that his true obsession, his deepest passion, lies not on four wheels, but on two? What if I told you that in his gargantuan big dog garage, tucked away amongst supercars and vintage classics, lies a motorcycle worth an astronomical $15 million? And here's the kicker, that's not even the most interesting part of this story. From a $25 basket case Honda he painstakingly restored with his own hands, to literally the most expensive motorcycle ever sold, Jay Leno's two-wheeled obsession runs deeper than most people could ever imagine. His collection isn't just a museum of machines. It's a living, breathing timeline of engineering evolution, a testament to human ingenuity, and a vault of unbelievable untold stories. Today, we're cracking open that vault. We're revealing his top 10. Actually, we're giving you 15 of his most insane, controversial, and historically significant motorcycles. You'll see a bike that was literally smuggled out of Nazi Germany, one so unbelievably rare that even the most prestigious museums worldwide don't even know it exists, and a machine that changed the very course of motorcycle racing forever. Get ready, because these aren't just bikes. They're legends. We're kicking off this incredible journey with number 15, the 1969 Honda CB750 Sandcast. Jay Leno himself calls this the motorcycle that changed everything, and for good reason. Before this bike, Japanese motorcycles were often seen as mere curiosities, lightweight and underpowered. The CB750, with its groundbreaking inline-4 engine, electric starter, and front disc brake, literally redefined what a motorcycle could be, setting the template for the modern superbike. But this isn't just any CB750, it's one of the ultra-rare, original Sandcast models. You see, while most people assume Honda mass-produced everything with robotic precision, the very first 7,414 CB750s had their engine cases cast in sand molds. Why? Because Honda, despite their ambition, wasn't entirely sure the bike would sell. Imagine that, a multi-billion-dollar gamble on a motorcycle that would become a global icon. Leno's particular Sandcast model carries an incredible story. He discovered it abandoned in a Los Angeles garage, completely covered in newspapers from 1970. The previous owner had simply parked it after a minor accident and, astonishingly, just forgot about it. The kicker? Those dusty, decades-old newspapers preserved the original candy blue-green paint perfectly, protecting it from the California sun for over 40 years. Even the original toolkit was still wrapped in its plastic bag. Beyond its serendipitous discovery, this bike is number 478 off the production line, making it one of the earliest CB750s in existence. The engine cases still bear slight imperfections from the rough-and-ready sand casting process, minor blemishes that Honda's engineers actually apologized for when they saw the bike at a show in Japan, a testament to their relentless pursuit of perfection. This wasn't just a bike, it was the spark of a revolution. Moving on to number 14, the 1938 Zündapp K800. Now, here's something you truly don't see every day, a motorcycle originally built for Hitler's war machine that ended up saving Jewish lives. This Zündapp, with its distinctive horizontal opposed four-cylinder engine and shaft drive, might at first glance resemble a BMW, but there's a crucial, almost unbelievable difference. This bike was engineered to run on potato alcohol when gasoline supplies were scarce, a stark indicator of its wartime purpose. Its 790 C7cc engine produced a respectable 26 horsepower through a 4-speed gearbox, advanced for its time. But what makes this motorcycle truly unique, chilling, and profoundly special is its wartime history. The previous owner's father, a brave member of the German resistance, used this exact motorcycle to smuggle Jewish families across the Swiss border to safety. The false bottom of its sidecar, cleverly designed and meticulously hidden, could conceal two terrified children. Leno spent 5 years relentlessly tracking down this particular bike after hearing its harrowing story from a Holocaust survivor at a car show. When he finally found it in a dusty, forgotten barn in Bavaria, the bike still contained hidden documents from its resistance days, crumbling papers tucked into secret compartments. The restoration, a labor of profound historical respect. meticulously preserved these artifacts, creating new secret compartments in the redesigned seat to house them. This motorcycle isn't just a machine, it's a moving testament to courage, resilience, and the power of human defiance. Next up, number 13. The 1952 Vincent Black Lightning John Edgar Special. If you think $15 million for a motorcycle is expensive, consider this. Jay Leno famously turned down an astronomical $27 million offer for this specific Vincent. Why? Because it's not just a legendary motorcycle, it's the actual bike that the legendary Raleigh Free rode to set the American speed record at Bonneville in 1948, hitting an incredible 150.313 TM. And yes, he did it wearing nothing but a bathing suit and a smile, cementing an iconic image in motorcycling history. The specifications of this machine were mind-bending, even by today's standards. Its 998 CE V-twin engine was pushed to a phenomenal 70 horsepower, at a time when a typical family car made maybe 100. Every single part on this bike was engineered for extreme performance and lightness. Everything from the frame to the engine cases was magnesium or aluminum, and even the wheel rims were specially made by Rolls-Royce's aircraft division for ultimate strength and minimal weight. The record stood for an astonishing 20 years. This particular bike came to Leno through John Edgar's son, who, recognizing Leno's dedication to historical preservation, wanted it cared for, rather than hidden away in some anonymous private collection. During the meticulous restoration process, they made a truly heartwarming discovery. Raleigh Free's lucky penny was still taped inside the fuel tank, a small superstitious charm that had accompanied him on his record-breaking ride. Leno, understanding the profound historical significance, kept it there, even adding his own lucky penny beside it. This isn't just a record breaker, it's a living piece of motorcycling lore. At number 12, we have the 1931 Indian 4. Most enthusiasts mistakenly believe Henderson was the sole American manufacturer of four-cylinder motorcycles, but this breathtaking Indian proves otherwise. What makes this bike truly special isn't just its exquisite engineering, though that's impressive enough. It's the captivating fact that it was originally owned by none other than the king of cool himself, Steve McQueen, though he never got to restore it. The 1265C inline-4 engine produced 30 horsepower, a solid output for its era. But it's how it makes that power that's truly fascinating. The engine is essentially a car engine turned sideways, with 4 separate exhaust pipes that create what Indian proudly called the Symphony of Power, a distinct, mesmerizing rumble that announced its arrival long before it was seen. In a clever bit of early parts bin engineering, each cylinder head was actually interchangeable with a Ford Model A, showcasing a remarkable ingenuity. Jay Leno acquired this bike at McQueen's legendary estate sale in 1984, still in pieces, exactly as McQueen had left it in his garage. Among the scattered components, they found McQueen's own handwritten restoration notes and a cherished box of rare parts he had collected over the years, dreaming of its revival. Leno's restoration team, committed to preserving McQueen's vision, followed these notes exactly, even tracking down the precise type of paint McQueen had ordered but never had the chance to use. Today, it's probably the most valuable Indian 4 in existence, a rolling testament to two legends of mechanical passion, though Leno steadfastly insists it's not for sale at any price. Our next machine, at number 11, is the 1975 Ducati 750 SS green frame. This isn't just any classic Ducati. This is the direct descendant of the bike that Paul Smart famously rode to victory at Imola in 1972, a win that changed Ducati's fortunes forever and cemented their reputation as a force in racing. But here's the twist, and it's an incredible one. This particular 750 SS is one of only 401 green frame models ever produced, identifiable by their distinctive mint green frames, hence the nickname. Each part was hand-assembled by Ducati's elite race department, a testament to the meticulous craftsmanship involved. But this specific bike was even more special. Leno discovered, to his astonishment, that it was the development mule for Ducati's very first electronic ignition system, a piece of pre-production history. He found this legendary machine in pieces in a dusty Los Angeles garage, abandoned after a failed customization attempt in 1978. The original owner had absolutely no idea what priceless piece of motorcycling history he possessed. During restoration, Leno's team found original test notes from Ducati's engineering department still tucked into the bike's tool roll, scribbled with technical data and observations. Even more amazingly, they tracked down one of the original mechanics who had built it, who flew from Bologna, Italy, specifically to help with the meticulous restoration. Today, it's one of only about 100 known surviving green frames, and arguably the most historically significant, a direct link to Ducati's racing DNA. At number 10, we journey back to 1927 for the Henderson Deluxe. Here's a motorcycle that literally helped build Hollywood before it ever found its way into Jay Leno's collection. This Henderson wasn't just a personal vehicle, it belonged to a pioneering cameraman who filmed some of the very first high-speed chase scenes in silent movies. The bike's incredibly smooth inline-4 engine made it uniquely perfect for filming. Other motorcycles of the era, which typically shook so much that usable footage was impossible. Its 1300cc engine produced 28 horsepower, which might not sound impressive today, until you learn about its astonishing party trick. This Henderson could cruise effortlessly at 100mm while using just a quarter of its throttle. The engine was so unbelievably smooth that riders could famously balance a nickel on the cylinder head at idle without it falling off, a trick Leno still loves to demonstrate. This restoration story is pure Hollywood magic itself. Leno found this bike being used as a window display in an antique shop in Burbank, just blocks from NBC Studios. The owner had no idea what it truly was, believing it was just some anonymous old Harley. The original sidecar, which once held bulky movie cameras worth far more than the bike itself, turned up years later at a prop auction. Even better, the camera mount still bore the original operator's handwritten filming notes from 1927, outlining camera angles and chase sequences. It's a rolling piece of cinematic history. Our next stop takes us to number 9, the 1925 BMW R32. This is where things get truly interesting. The R32 was BMW's very first motorcycle, marking the birth of a motoring icon. But this particular R32 harbors a deeply emotional secret. During the darkest days of World War II, a courageous Jewish BMW engineer, anticipating the horrors to come, meticulously hid this specific bike behind a false wall in his Munich home. He survived the war, a feat in itself, and immigrated to America, but tragically, he never returned to claim his hidden treasure. 50 years later, Jay Leno received a mysterious letter from the engineer's grandson, detailing the hidden bike and its incredible story. The R32's 486cc Boxer twin engine only produced a modest 8.5 horsepower, but it established a revolutionary design philosophy that BMW still uses today. The exposed shaft drive, the horizontally opposed cylinders, these became instant BMW trademarks, influencing generations of motorcycles. Leno's version is one of only 390 R32s ever built, and one of just 12 known to exist with all original parts, an unbelievable feat of survival. The restoration story is just as fascinating as its history. When Leno acquired it, he insisted on using only period-correct materials, going to extraordinary lengths. He even tracked down original German leather for the seat from a company that has been making motorcycle seats since 1873. The paint itself is mixed using the exact painstaking formula BMW used in 1925, including materials that would be illegal to use in modern paints. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a profound historical artifact, a symbol of resilience, and a deeply personal connection to a harrowing past. Hold on tight, because at number 8, we have the 1939 Crocker Big Tank. If you thought any motorcycle was crazy, consider this. Al Crocker, a visionary American engineer, only built a mere 72 motorcycles before World War II tragically ended his dream. This big tank model, instantly recognizable by its oversized fuel tank, is one of only 30 surviving examples, and it tells an amazing story of audacious American innovation. Each Crocker was essentially hand-built to order in Crocker's small Los Angeles shop, a bespoke masterpiece. The 1000cc V-twin engine could be customized to the buyer's exact specifications, with some incredible versions producing over 110 horsepower, an absolutely insane figure for 1939, easily outperforming many cars of the era. Crocker was so supremely confident in his bike's performance that he offered a staggering guarantee. He would refund any owner who got beaten by a Harley-Davidson. He never, ever had to pay up. Leno's Crocker, already a powerhouse, boasts an output of 93 horsepower. The restoration of this particular machine was a monumental undertaking, taking 7 years and costing over $400,000. Why so expensive? Because virtually every single part had to be hand-fabricated from scratch, as no spares exist anywhere in the world. The massive gas tank alone required 600 hours to reconstruct using original techniques. Today, this bike is valued at over $1.2 million, but its historical value, representing a defiant spirit of American ingenuity against the Goliaths of the industry, is truly priceless. Prepare for warp speed, because at number 7 we're talking about the 1955 Vincent Black Shadow. This machine was famously dubbed the world's first superbike, and it lived up to the name. But Jay's version has a truly incredible, almost mythical twist. This particular bike was owned by none other than the legendary counterculture icon and gonzo journalist Hunter S. Thompson. Thompson famously wrote about it in his iconic piece, Song of the Sausage Creature, claiming it was too fast to live, too young to die. And he wasn't exaggerating. The specs were utterly otherworldly for 1955. A 998cc V-twin producing 55 horsepower, capable of an astonishing 125 mph at a time when most bikes struggled to hit 100. Each engine was meticulously bench-tested for a grueling 100 hours before installation, a testament to the uncompromising quality control that simply doesn't exist today. The signature black engine wasn't just for show either. It was a special high-temperature coating developed for RAF night fighters during World War II, showcasing its military-grade pedigree. Leno found this legendary bike in pieces, literally scattered across 3 different states: the engine in Colorado, the frame in Utah, and the original instruments inexplicably turned up at a swap meet in California. The restoration took 4 painstaking years, with Leno insisting on keeping Hunter's unique modifications, including a special, cleverly disguised bracket for holding his, let's say, recreational supplies. It's a machine that embodies raw power, revolutionary design, and the wild spirit of its unforgettable owner. Our next entry at number 6 is the 1918 Harley-Davidson 18J. Here's a bike that didn't just survive World War I, it was in the war. This is one of only 86 military spec 18Js known to exist, a true rarity. This specific Harley bears chilling battle scars. Bullets are still embedded in its frame from its active service on the brutal battlefields of France. But that's not even the craziest part of the story. The 982 size F-head V-twin engine produced just 15 horsepower, but it's what this engine and the bike represented that truly matters. Every single part was meticulously machined to be perfectly interchangeable with other 18Js. A revolutionary concept in 1918, a precursor to modern mass production and battlefield efficiency. The olive drab paint on Leno's example, astonishingly, contains actual mud from the French battlefields, preserved under a clear coat applied during restoration, a visceral connection to its past. Leno discovered this bike tucked away in a dusty barn in rural Wisconsin, where it had been stored since 1920. The original owner, a decorated World War I veteran, left incredibly specific instructions that it should never be sold, only given, to someone who would meticulously preserve its history and honor its service. His family, after seeing how Jay Leno cared for his other military vehicles, specifically chose him to be its next guardian. The restoration was a monumental effort, using only original 1918 parts, some painstakingly sourced from archaeological digs at former military bases in France. It's not just a motorcycle, it's a living, breathing memorial to an era and the brave souls who wrote it. Prepare for the truly supernatural, because at number 5 we have the 1949 Vincent Black Lightning. If the Black Shadow was fast, the Black Lightning was an absolute unholy terror. Only 33 were ever built, making them almost mythical. And Leno's example is the actual bike that set the American speed record of 150.313 at Bonneville in 1949, a feat that, at the time, seemed borderline impossible. This isn't just a piece of engineering. It's the motorcycle equivalent of owning a lunar landing module, a machine built for a singular, impossible purpose. The engineering is mind-bending. A 998C V-twin engine producing a staggering 70 horsepower packed into a bike weighing just 380 pounds. Everything non-essential was ruthlessly eliminated. The frame was ingeniously integrated as part of the fuel tank, the oil tank was part of the frame itself, and every single nut and bolt was meticulously drilled for weight reduction. Modern superbikes still struggle to match its astounding power-to-weight ratio, a testament to its forward-thinking design. The restoration story of this machine borders on mythology. The bike was found in pieces in an Australian shipping container, heartbreakingly missing its legendary engine. Through a series of coincidences that almost seemed scripted by fate, Leno meticulously tracked down the original engine. Where was it? It was being used as a coffee table by a retired racer in a remote part of New Zealand. The reunion of engine and frame, decades after their separation, was so momentous, it was covered by motorcycle magazines worldwide. This Black Lightning isn't just a relic, it's a monument to pure speed and uncompromising engineering. Before we reveal the top 3, let's talk about what might be the most historically significant American motorcycle ever built. Number 4, the 1902 Indian Camelback. This isn't just rare. It's one of the very first production motorcycles ever manufactured in America, a true Genesis machine. And the story of how Jay Leno found it is almost unbelievably serendipitous. The bike was discovered during a renovation of an old bicycle shop in Massachusetts, hidden, quite literally, inside a wall. Apparently, the original owner, a bicycle delivery man, had stashed it there during Prohibition to hide his motorized delivery vehicle from prying eyes, and then simply forgot about it. What makes this Indian so incredibly special isn't its modest 1.75 horsepower single-cylinder engine. It's the fact that it is completely original, down to its delicate leather belt drive and even its bicycle pedals. It's a literal time capsule. And here's where Leno made a controversial, but ultimately brilliant decision. There wasn't a restoration. Leno made the conscious choice to preserve it exactly as found, including its century-old dust, the patina of age, and the very layers of forgotten history. This isn't just a motorcycle, he often says. It's a time capsule. Even the original tire pump is still wrapped to the frame, just as it was when it was tucked away over 100 years ago. When Indian motorcycle historians meticulously examined it, they discovered an astounding detail. It was built on a Thursday in June of 1902. How do they know? Because the assembly workers' initials are still visible, faintly scribbled on the engine case. It's a direct link to the very dawn of American motorcycling. Now, we are truly entering the realm of motorcycling royalty, starting with number 3, the 1929 Bro Superior SS100 Alpine Grand Sports. Bro Superior was known as the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles, and each bike came with an unheard-of guarantee that it had been individually tested at 100 miles before leaving the factory. But this particular SS100 holds a secret, an astonishing revelation that wasn't discovered until a mere few years ago, in 2018. Its 998C V-twin engine produced an impressive 45 horsepower for 1929, but that's not what makes it special. This bike was custom ordered by one of the most enigmatic and legendary figures of the 20th century, T.E. Lawrence himself, Lawrence of Arabia. Astonishingly, Lawrence tragically died in a motorcycle accident before this specific bike was completed. As a result, it was placed into storage where it remained untouched, unridden, and forgotten for a staggering 89 years. When Leno acquired it, his team made a profound discovery. Lawrence's original handwritten specification sheet was still tucked in the tool compartment. The requests were absolutely fascinating, revealing Lawrence's adventurous spirit. An extra-large fuel tank for extensive desert crossings, modified gearing for optimal sand riding, and a special compass mount explicitly requested on the handlebars. The bike cost $180 in 1929, an immense sum, more than a house in London at the time. Today, it's valued at over $4 million, but its connection to such a pivotal historical figure makes it truly priceless. A direct link to a legend. Prepare yourselves for the true genesis of an industry, because at number 2 we have the 1894 Hildebrand and Wolfmiller. Here it is, the world's first production motorcycle. Not a prototype, not a concept, but the first mass-produced motorized two-wheeler. Only 2,000 were ever built, and an astonishingly mere 4 complete examples survive today. This isn't just a piece of motorcycle history, it's the very beginning. of the entire industry as we know it, but the story of how Jay Leno acquired it reads like something straight out of a spy thriller. The bike was discovered almost accidentally in a previously inaccessible Soviet military museum after the dramatic fall of the Berlin Wall. It had been confiscated by the Red Army in 1945 as war reparations and subsequently forgotten, hidden, away for decades. When Leno learned about its existence, he embarked on a diplomatic odyssey, having to negotiate with no less than 5 different governments, a complex web of bureaucracies and historical claims, just to get permission to export it. The price? He's never revealed it, keeping it a closely guarded secret, but experts estimate it was north of $3.5 million. The engineering of this machine is fascinating and, frankly, slightly terrifying. Its 1488cc water-cooled twin-cylinder engine uses the rear wheel as its flywheel, a unique and precarious design. There's no clutch, no transmission, and the only way to start it is to run alongside and literally jump on. And those rubber bands you see near the engine? They're not decorative, they're actually return springs for the pistons. Top speed? About 28 mph, assuming you're brave enough to try. It's a raw, elemental ancestor that whispers of the future. And now, finally, we've reached the Holy Grail. Number 1, the 1949 AJS E90 Porcupine. This isn't just the most expensive motorcycle in the world. It's a legend that embodies the very essence of speed, innovation, and unwavering determination. Only 4 E90 AJS Porcupines were ever built, making this machine rarer than many multi-million-dollar supercars. And this specific one, it's the actual bike that won the inaugural 1949 World Championship, the very first year of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. But that's just the beginning of its story. Its 500cc twin-cylinder engine produced a modest-sounding 55 horsepower at 7,600 RPMs. However, those numbers are utterly deceiving when you realize this bike weighs a featherlight, 285 pounds. It earned its famous nickname, the Porcupine, from the distinctive bristling cooling fins that protruded from its cylinder head, resembling the quills of the animal. The engineering was so breathtakingly advanced that some of its features, like the chain-driven double overhead cams, didn't become common on production bikes until the 1970s, decades later. When Jay Leno acquired it in 2011 for an astonishing $15 million, many thought he had lost his mind. But here's what makes it truly priceless. This bike represents the precise moment motorcycle racing transitioned from a daredevil sport into a meticulous science. Every modern racing motorcycle, from the cutting-edge MotoGP machines to the brutal superbikes of today, can trace its fundamental DNA directly back to this revolutionary machine. The restoration of this legend took 3 painstaking years and required creating entirely new manufacturing processes just to reproduce certain parts. The original blueprints had been tragically lost in a factory fire in 1952, so Leno's team had to meticulously reverse engineer components using only faded, period photographs and intricate x-rays. The paint alone, a perfect, lustrous British racing green, took 6 months to perfect, ensuring it was the exact shade used by AJS in 1949, from a humble, dust-covered Indian found hidden in a wall to the most expensive, championship-winning motorcycle ever sold. Jay Leno's two-wheeled collection is far more than just a gathering of machines. It's a preserved, living timeline of motorcycle evolution, a stunning testament to human ingenuity, fierce competition, and the relentless drive to push boundaries faster, further, and more beautifully than ever before. Remember, as Jay always wisely says, the best bike in the world is the one you're riding right now. Well, unless, of course, you happen to be riding a $15 million AJS Porcupine. Then, it really is the best bike in the world. Which of these incredible machines astonished you the most? Did you know any of these unbelievable stories? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of legendary machines. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.